friends, it's me again. I have a story to share with you today. And before I do that, I just wanted to say how very much I miss all of you and how much I've been thinking about all of you. And also, you may have noticed that I'm in a different spot than I was the last time, and I've been in different spots each time, trying to find the best place to make these videos. So right now I'm on my back porch, which is very close to my chicken. So I'm outside. You can see my house. This is the outside of my house. Behind me, this is where the basement is. This is a big bench we have out here. And in front of me, which you can't see, is where the chickens live. And they get noisy when I'm out here. So I'm sorry if they're too noisy while I'm reading this story. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. Today I'm reading a story about flowers. I posted a video of my peach trees and talked about how the flowers of the peach trees get pollinated and they turn into fruits, and inside of those fruits are seeds. And seeds are how trees and plants start. So this story is called The Reason for a Flower. And on the very first page it shows a picture of a flower. It says this one has become a plum. And this is just the same way that the peaches became peaches. They were a flower, and then at some point they were pollinated and the petals fell off and the plum starts to grow, or in my case on my trees, a peach. Okay. Birds and bees. And these. See, there's all different things in here. Not just birds and bees, but also butterflies, and there was a little mammal in there, a little shrew. And these. What's different from this picture, from the last picture? Do you notice something different? You're right, it's at nighttime. There are pollinators that come out at night. Like, did you know bats can help pollinate? And moths? They sip nectar from the flowers. And they search for more and more pollen from the flower before goes to the next one they explore. So the pollen gets stuck to them and they bring it around to flowers, and that's how flowers know it's time to make seeds. But some pollen travels in the breeze. Have you all noticed some of the cars and the ground and everything turning yellow? That's from the pollen from the big tall pine trees. And it is moving in the breeze, just like this pollen here. And this is a lily, and it's showing us the different parts of the flower, from an anther on a stamen to a stigma on a style. Pollen grains must travel and stay a little while. And then you'll see the reason for each flower. Even weeds, like this dandelion. You know how you can blow the dandelions? Those are the seeds that you're blowing around. The reason for a flower is to manufacture, we already know this one, manufacture means to make seeds. Look at all these different kinds of seeds. I'm going to let you look at that for a moment. The largest one is a coconut. Did you know that a coconut is a giant seed? And that peas are seeds? Seeds travel far and wide. Some even like to hitch a ride upon a bike You can see there's a little seed stuck in this shoe right here. Yeah? Squirrels hide them and forget they do. When squirrels are hiding the acorns, that's a seed that can turn into an oak tree. And if they forget where they are, it could sprout and turn into a tree. And some even have burrs that stick to furs. Have you ever had a burr stuck to you? Inside is a seed, but they're so spiky and they really can get stuck to clothes. And in this case, can really get stuck to animal fur. Seeds can settle anywhere they find water, sun, and air. Right? Those are the things that we need to grow plants. Yeah. And then they grow roots and stems and leaves. So all of these things are roots. Do you recognize any of these? Yep, you're right. This one over here is a carrot. This one here, have you ever had a beet or a radish? A leek, which is kind of like an onion. They are roots that grow in the ground that you can eat. And some seeds grow up to be big trees. You see all the animals enjoying that tree? And these are plants that grow where it's very dry. What do you think these plants are called? That's right, there. It's a cactus. You see a lizard here. Did you know even a cactus makes seeds? These cactuses make flowers, and those flowers have seeds. And these grow where it's wet. Yeah, you see the frog and the turtle and the fish. Have you ever seen these before? Maybe you went to Duke Gardens and you saw these in the koi pond. These lily pads and these other flowers that grow in the water. And these here, look at these. Do you think these are flowers? They might not look like flowers, but they are very important. They are rice and barley, and I bet you know this one, corn and wheat. And this one is millet, and this one is bamboo. These are all, they're called cereals that we need to eat. Not like breakfast cereal, but different grains that we eat. Even these are seeds and flowers. And these are all a treat for animals who don't eat meat. So not just for people, but look at all these animals. None of these animals eat meat. They're called herbivorous. Or if you don't eat meat, you might call yourself a vegetarian. But when you're talking about whole groups of animals that just eat plants, they're herbivorous. But do you know that there are plants that eat meat? It's true. There are some kind of plants that eat meat. Do you recognize any of these? Do you recognize this? That's a Venus flytrap. And these are pitcher plants. And if you eat meat, you're called carnivorous. You might know that word from dinosaurs being carnivorous. Well, these plants are carnivorous. These little plants here are called sundews. They're very sticky on the end. And they use the bugs for nutrients because their soil doesn't have as many vitamins as the soil maybe in your yard when you grow a garden. Now this flower is the largest flower. It grows in the jungle near the ground. It's huge. And it can be 3 feet wide, or maybe 4, weighs 15 pounds, and sometimes more, and has a nasty odor. Rafflesia is its name. I think that's how you pronounce that. Maybe your mom and dad know. but it's also a very, very stinky flower. It smells horrible. But the reason it smells so bad is because flies pollinate it. Flies pollinate it. But here's a flower that owes its fame to smelling very sweet. And scientists agree that magnolias seem to be a prehistoric family. You may have magnolias in your yard or in your neighborhood. Well, these types of trees were around during the dinosaurs. That's why they're called prehistoric. Way before we were keeping track of history, before humans were even around, these trees were growing, and they smell lovely. They're not blooming quite yet. So all flowers and plants are very important. Did you know that here are some products that are made from plants? That we need plants for all these things? I'm going to let you look at this for a minute. You may notice candy, paper, a broom, chocolate, fabric like the pocket up here. The jeans are made from cotton, pasta, bread, balloons. How are all of these things made from plants? Well, the sugar in candy is a plant. Coffee is a bean. That's a seed from a plant. Popcorn comes from corn, of course. Chocolate's grown on a tree, and it's a seed. Bread comes from wheat, right? Cork comes from trees. And then it shows this on the last page. It says, plants that have no flowers are fascinating too. So this is a little bit different. They don't really get into mushrooms and fungi, but maybe they do in a different book. And then it's back to the plum picture again. So while we're thinking about springtime and fruit and seeds and vegetables, we can really think about how many other things that we use that are made from plants. Remember, trees are plants. So if right now I'm sitting at a wooden table, this came from a plant, right? This house behind me, this is made from a tree called cedar. That's a really big plant. It's a big tree. So we are really lucky to have all these wonderful things that our homes and our food and our clothes are made out of. So it's important to take care of our earth and our plants and our animals